Hello guys and welcome to this month's upcoming games. Yes, boys and girls, the games for June 2019. These are some games that we thought that might interest you folk and that we recommend you go and try because they're interesting to us, they might be interesting to you as well. Joining me today is the Draconis, my PIC partner in crime, and we will see how this one goes because Drac has written the list today, so please stand by for a lot of Nintendo and PC games. Welcome Drac, welcome.
Well, hello, and thank you for having me on the show today.
Yay, we're on the show.
Yeah, well, I always catch a lot of PC games because that's where I play mostly. I kind of leave it up to you for most of the PlayStation stuff, but this is a mix. Some of it is stuff that I'm interested in checking it out. Some of it is stuff that I thought maybe we should mention because our listeners will be interested in checking it out. But yeah, why don't we just jump on in?
Yes, Drac, you do that.
All right, up first from Rick and Morty creators and Squanch Games, something called Trover Saves the Universe. And this looks to be set... The character design, at least, looks to be very much set in the Rick and Morty universe here, and I believe it was a character that was in Rick and Morty. I don't know. I watched a lot of those episodes, but it's been a bit. And so anyway, this comes out on May 31st for PS4, but it'll be out on June 4th for PC. And if you're a Rick and Morty fan, or if you like the 3D, this looks like it's going to be some kind of 3D like adventure platformer type game. This could be something right up your alley.
When I initially saw it, I actually thought this was from Adult Swim, but it actually isn't. Squanch was the character. He was the cat character, Squanchy Squanch, whatever, in Rick and Morty. The character that you're looking at now reminds me of Meeseeks. So, yes, but no, I don't think this particular character, Trover, was actually in the Adult Swim's Rick and Morty universe. But it'll be interesting to see if they do a bit of a crossover with this. It's done by the same creator, Justin Roiland, so yeah, it'll be interesting. Be interesting to see.
Well, the opportunity exists. We are getting a Rick and Morty season 4 towards the end of the year?
4, yeah. I'm actually surprised they're actually doing a season 4 because I don't think these guys want to do any more Rick and Mortys. I think they're I want to say burnt out. I don't want to say burnt out, but you know when you want to move on to a new project and do something new and exciting, but your fan base just wants more of the same. I think, at least the sort of interpretation I get from them is that they want to do something different, so they're going to have to change something. So I hope they get to do their new project, hopefully.
So look for season 4 Rick and Morty to be like season 8 Game of Thrones.
Well, you see, I think that's a very, very clever way of doing it. But if it's anything to go by, I don't think so, because there's a lot of money to be made within these shows, and these guys know it. So, hopefully it doesn't go on for 10 seasons like Friends, because Friends could have been dead after season 3, and that would have been the end of it. But unfortunately,
Well, and I guess speaking of dragons, next up is one that I keep telling myself I'm going to get back to. It's probably the only MMO I've ever played that I've experienced what I like to call content exhaustion, because there is so much content to go through that after a while it can be a little bit exhausting, but I love the fact that they've got so much in there. And this is the new add-on for Elder Scrolls Online called Elsweyr. You get to go to the home of the Khajiit, and I guess dragons are being released into the world.
You see, now you say that's the first MMO you've played, but you've actually played a bit of Destiny, and there is something called content exhaustion within Destiny as well, because you have to play the same content over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, so you get exhausted on the same content. But with that sort of in that sort of context, I see what you mean by this one, because there is just so much to do in the Elder Scrolls Online world.
Yeah, it's a different form of content exhaustion. With regards to a lot of MMOs, the content exhaustion comes from repeated content, or I should say repeatedly going through the content, whereas ESO, my problem with ESO is I was a bit too much of a completionist. I would do every single quest and every single world boss and every single thing I could find on the map for an area before I would leave the area. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can see why you got exhausted, yeah. You didn't shortcut nothing, I see. Yeah. What irked me about Destiny 1 was that one of the DLCs, in fact, I think all the DLCs, you got the chance, the opportunity, and the privilege to play the same map route, but backwards. Okay, that isn't content, dude. Seriously. But that's what irked me about Destiny.
So that one will be out on June 4th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Now, you've got one here, Drac, Chaosbane, Warhammer. Now, that looks absolutely fan-dabby-dozy.
There's no R. Nope, there's no R in that. It's Chaosbane from the Warhammer 40k universe.
Okay, so it's but you wrote it Chaosbane,
there's
bro.
No R in
Your
there.
grammar's terrible.
Yeah. Nice
Dude,
try.
you've just corrected it. You've just corrected it, bro. You've just corrected it. Your grammar is terrible. Just like Monday. It's horrible.
Nice try there, buddy.
Yeah, you...
So yes, if you're a fan of the Warhammer universe, this will be one of the latest additions in that. This looks to be kind of like a Diablo style game, hack and slash adventure type game. So this is definitely one that's on my list. It's got co-op, up to 4-player co-op, so I'm sure I'll be playing it in the LAN sessions where we get together. And that comes out on the 4th of June for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. I'm definitely looking forward to this one. This one looks like it'll be a lot of fun.
That looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm quite keen to actually get my hands on that game. And since I'm a PC elitist now, I can actually play a game. Yay!
Well, we might have to organize something then.
Yeah.
I've just dumbstruck Bamm.
I just had a coughing fit because I was laughing so hard.
All right, and the next one on the list, Hell Let Loose, on the 6th of June. This will be out on PC Early Access on Steam. And this looks like this would be up your alley, man.
Yeah, it's definitely a World War II shooter. I really do like the graphics in this, but I think I need to actually go ahead and play the game to sort of get the right feel for it. It reminds me of that Generals game that was free to play on Steam quite a few years back, and you could jump on a bicycle and basically bicycle your way across the map and go and cause hell and trouble. But it's a game I wouldn't mind playing.
Well, and up to 100 players in a match. There's tanks and artillery, and so you get quite a few options with this.
I'm resisting the urge to say, yes, it's a Battlefield game, because it really isn't. It's a different take on that sort of World War II thing. And let's face it, there are so many World War II shooter games out there that the market's practically flooded. So these people have got to find a different avenue of attack with regards to this. So let's hope they do the Battle of the Bulge justice.
Yeah, World War II and zombie games. Like, completely saturated market, but people are still eating them up.
Yeah, like a ravenous zombie.
Oh, you got that
and
pun.
I wasn't calling the consumer a zombie before you go there.
Oh, hell, we all can be.
Right, guys, next on the list is Idle Dungeons. Now, Idle Dungeons is produced and developed by a company called Chimp Labs. It's out on the 7th of June, 2019. Of course it is. And it's actually quite a cute little dungeon crawler. At least that's what it looks like to me. It's got that sort of mobile sort of feel to it with the way it's drawn and the artistic style of it. But it's quite cute. It's like a turned down Skyrim.
Yeah, I was thinking a polygonal Minecraft, like an upgraded Minecraft.
You see, I really don't want to use the sort of cliche descriptions when it comes to it. It does have that sort of Minecrafty sort of feel and
I don't
look.
want to use the cliche descriptions, but I'm going to compare it to Skyrim.
But I tell you what, but the thing is, right, it's difficult to describe a game nowadays without using Battlefield, Skyrim, or Minecraft. So but so many games are like those. It's difficult to, find new words to describe things. I quite like this. It's cute. It's cleverly designed. It looks the graphics and drawings and representation of the game is nice and fresh. It's bright. It's perfect for a mobile.
Yeah, I'd say if you like the QT dungeon crawls, or if you're looking for something maybe for your kiddo to play through, it's a single player only game, so in that particular instance you don't have to worry about any kind of multiplayer interaction if you're trying to keep a close eye on what your kiddo's doing online. It does have some kind of in-app purchases, but it looks like you can probably play through the game without having to deal with that. So yeah,
it's a free-to-play indie sort of game, a very casual sort of game, sort of play style, which is quite nice. I mean, it looks very, very cute. I quite like the look of it. I do. I really do.
And another one that's got that a very similar cutesy look to that kind of polygonal, art style to it. Something called Village Feud, also coming out on June 7th. This one, however, does have multiplayer and online co-op. So This says, in this one, it says, so 2 villages on the island don't get along very well, and you're the mayor of one of those cities. So you're basically trying to develop up your city, defend it with troops and whatnot, and then attack your opponent's village. So similar art style, different type of gameplay, whereas in the other one, you're doing a dungeon crawl. In this one, it seems like you build up and defend, your castle and attack your opponent's castle, try to take them out.
You see, now for me, it looks like Civilization sort of meets Clash of Clans with elements of Total War within it. So yeah, that's what it looks like to me. It looks like a stripped down version of Civilization meets sort of Clash of Clans, and there is sort of like a touch of Total War in there as well. So this is like a melding of several different types, but they keep the art style very clean, very simple.
Yeah, and another cool thing, or I should say another plus for G, is that it's not just 1v1, but it's also 2v2 and 3v3, so he can...
I see why this is in here. This is a micromanagement game for G. I understand now.
But he'll have teammates he can yell at when his castle gets defeated.
He's more interested in the market rather than actually building an army and actually using that army to fight. He's more interested in micromanaging the profit from the corn and the wheat and the flax. Anyway, moving swiftly on. Drac?
Alright, I believe next on the list, we're going to go from medieval to futuristic. So we're going to go to a game called Triton Survival. This one will come out on the 21st of June, and it's listed as a galactic survival game where it focuses on surviving, crafting, and gathering resources. So another G game.
Well, if you look at the marker for the Triton, it looks like the Klingon insignia, so I think G's already in there.
Oh, yeah, there you go. So this one will be in early access. This is a single-player only game, so no multiplayer there. It's just you, trying to survive against, some of these hordes of crazy-looking enemies. But it looks like it could be some fun, though.
It looks to me similar to No Man's Sky sort of meets Warhammer. That's what it looks like to me.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. With the way that some of the creature designs, or I should say the armor design on the main character that you play there for the Warhammer part. But yeah.
Good lord, if No Man's Sky had this, it would be immense. Oh, good lord. You know what it reminds me of as well? It reminds me of Starship Troopers 2 as well,
you know what? I can kind of see that a little bit. I mean, the creatures don't necessarily look like that, but the idea of playing that way, yeah, I can see that.
Because you just have hordes of them running at you. I mean, come on. The best standoff in the game was when they were at that bunker and that chick got stabbed through the chest or something, I remember. Yeah. Was it through the chest? I can't remember that bit. But yeah, she got horribly stabbed by an arachnid. Yeah, it was a good film, that Starship Troopers. Good film. I mean, it was a terrible film, but that's what made it good.
So apologies, somehow our list got all discombobulated. But jumping back to the 14th of June, there's a game called Astaria. That's a hardcore fantasy, massive online RPG, medieval, that this looks like it's created by an indie dev. I was still looking for some more information about it, but the graphics themselves they're okay. They're not bad. But again, I think this is more of an indie dev thing, so I'm not looking to be blown away by the graphics. And online hardcore fantasy MMO. So if you're into the fantasy MMOs, you like the third person camera style. I don't know that this will necessarily be one for me because it looks like there's a lot of survival aspects to the game, and I don't care for survival stuff.
If you went to the frequently asked questions, you see, I did research, you see, unlike some people. If you went to the frequently asked questions and scrolled right down, you'll see that the trademark of Astaria is actually part of it. So yeah, it looks like a real life Skyrim. Listen as Drac frantically goes for the frequently asked questions and gets all his answers there.
Nope.
No, the game looks really good, Drac. It looks really good. Real depth of field in that. It looks very full and very vibrant. Not necessarily something I'd like to play myself, but it looks good. I mean, people enjoy the whole sort of Skyrim thing, so why not another game based on the similar sorts of things? So yeah.
All right. And next up on, let's see, it'll be PC, PS4, and Xbox One on June 18th, and Nintendo Switch on June 25th, is a side-scrolling platformer, which when I looked at it, in some ways, it kind of reminded me quite a bit of the old Castlevania games. Not that it necessarily looks exactly exactly like that or anything, but just a similar feel to that. And it's called Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Yeah, made by 505 Games. I'd be interested to see this one because they've got quite a lot of history and some good background in the actual game making and development, so I'll be quite keen to see this one. I'm not too sure about the 2D side-scrolling, but it looks cool. It does remind me of Castlevania, yeah.
Yeah, and it's almost got a little bit of a like a JRPG type feel and sound to it with some of the stuff that's in there and the music and whatnot. So that may tug on some heartstrings for folks that are into the JRPG stuff if you're looking for a 2D side-scroller.
I mean, let's face it, this is basically you taking your waifu to dark and dingy places to fight a baddie, so, what's wrong with that?
There you go. There's the elevator pitch.
Yeah, buddy!
Alrighty, and next up is, I still have to go get the Sonic one, but next up is the Crash Bandicoot kart racer game that will be out on the 21st of June for PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch. I really enjoy these kart racer games. I like racing around. I like having options to, shoot or take out your opponents as you're driving around. Racing games, I don't know. I mean, like the more realistic ones, I don't find as fun as like these kart racing ones, and maybe I take them more seriously. I don't know, but I don't know. Looks like some good fun to me.
Dude, you are dead to me. Seriously, you prefer a kart racing game over a game like Forza or Gran Turismo? You, sir, need some realignment quickly because your wheels are bent, bro.
Hey, I didn't say I couldn't enjoy them. I just said that I think I enjoy the kart racing ones a little more.
And there's the Nintendo in you coming out, yes.
So it's Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled.
I bet you I could come up with a better title than Crash Team Racing Nitro-Fueled.
Okay, let me hear it.
Nitro-Fueled Team Racing Crash. Honestly, that's a word salad. Honestly, that's what it is. It's like they had to get all the cool things in there and a little bit about the game. So racing's a cool name. Crash, that's an awesome name. Nitro, whatever. And Fueled.
Well, it's Crash. It's Crash Bandicoot.
No, I know that, but it's a word salad, honestly. The way they've titled it, it's a bit sort of just throw everything in it and see what sticks. I mean, they could have got Nitro-Fueled Team Racing Crash Bandicoots, But no. Never mind. That's having said that's the only sort of thing I can really pick on when it comes to this. The game does look quite cute. I would still prefer my Gran Turismo. Yes, I'm a Gran Turismo boy, not a Forza boy. But just one of those. It's just one of those. And moving swiftly on to the 25th of June, another word salad. Monster Jam Steel Titans. Yeah.
Now, did we talk about this one before, or was there another monster truck one we talked about previously? I'm trying to remember if it was this one.
This was the one. This is the exact one. It's another word
so this must
salad.
have gotten pushed back then.
We talked about this before earlier on. It was it reminds me of the that robot game that everyone loved back in the early 2000s, late 90s, Robot Wars. There was a game that came out. It's a very similar look to it than that. So yeah, build your monster truck, send it out and do battle. So a very similar format. At least that's what it looks like to me.
Well, and you can do tricks and stuff, so you can kind of vicariously live through the video game about being a monster truck driver, getting to do a lot of the crazy stuff that you'll see them do on TV with backflips and jumps and, running over cars, I suppose.
There's many things I've done in my life, but one of the things I have not done is actually gone to a monster truck rally. And I tell you what, I would so love to do it.
Oh yeah,
because all I see it as is basically people getting drunk, watching cars and vehicles and things just destroy each other. What's not to like? Yes, the redneck in me is coming out. Oh yeah. I've got to get a hold of Jolly. Really, I do. He lives in Georgia. There's got to be monster truck rallies near him. I've got to go and see Jolly and visit him. He can take me to some good ones, I believe.
Yeah, we've had some Supercross stuff down here in San Diego that I've one of these days I keep telling myself I'm going to go check it out because I think that'll be fun. But I can't remember if we've had any monster truck stuff, and I definitely would at least go check one out just to see what it's like.
Definitely, dude. It looks like a lot of fun monster truck rallies. I really want to go to them, but unfortunately, living in the UK, the little island off the coast of mainland Europe, it's difficult to find monster trucks here, bro.
So, the game is Monster Jam Steel Titans on PC, PS4, and Xbox One, June 25th.
Again, I could have come with a better title.
We're gonna have to start going through and doing the upcoming games with the upcoming games plus Bamm's retitling.
I agree there, because honestly, it's like a word salad. I mean, they could have gone Steel Titans Monster Truck Rally, or Monster Truck Rally The Steel Titans. I mean, good lord, why Monster Jam? I mean, yeah, never mind.
Well, next up is one that I know G and I think had talked about in a previous upcoming games that was delayed. And this is a Cthulhu-esque mystery type game called The Sinking City.
Okay, do tell.
Well, it comes out on June 27th for PC, PS4, and Xbox One. And you play a detective and trying to solve mysteries. Now, anyone familiar with Cthulhu type stuff, you'll be expecting tentacled creatures and insanity. And this will have those kinds of things. So it's set in 1920s. A city on the called Oakmont on the eastern seaboard of the U.S.
Right.
Beyond that, it's basically a third-person perspective detective mystery game that you get to play through. So if you like horror or Cthulhu-type stuff, I don't know. This to me looked kind of interesting. I don't know if or when I will find time to get to it, but I have played a couple of games in this vein before, and they are kind of fun and interesting to play through.
I've seen this game, or rather the trailers for this game, and I must say the trailers were quite interesting, how the dude ended up lying flat out, sparkers on the actual concrete or tarmac, and then watching how he ended up there, and it's like, whoa, this looks very similar to, oh, good lord. You know that game the Japanese dude made from Metal Gear Solid, him?
Oh, Death Stranding?
There we go. It looks very similar to Death Stranding. Thank you, Drac. At least in the sort of, what the Fujinani's going on here, because it just doesn't make sense what's going on. This poor guy stuck in that sort of realm, and interesting to see what goes on here. 27th of June 2019, yes, so we will see what goes on. Yeah,
definitely got a nice creepy horror vibe to it, so if you enjoy horror games, yeah, this one ought to be interesting to check out.
To be fair, I'd much rather play some Cultist Simulator, because it's quite Cthulhu-esque as well, if you understand my meaning.
That was the card game that you guys interviewed for.
Yeah. A very interesting card game. Very interesting how to build your cult using nothing but cards and time and basically different recipes to get to the end result. And it's interesting.
That was a super cool interview. Those devs, they were a lot of fun to have on the show.
Right, boys and girls. Drac has put on here Kings. It's out on the 20th of June 2019. Made by Interactive Gaming Studios. They are also publishing themselves. And to me, it looks very similar to Rust, but set in the sort of medieval sort of era. I quite like it, Drac. I like the look of it. It needs a bit more development, a bit more work, but it's nice. A bit like
Yep, it's coming out into early access, so there still will be quite a bit of development time. It is MMO style with regards to, I think they said the servers will have a capacity of around 100 players. The thing about this, it is a survival-esque type game, and I don't particularly care for survival games, as I keep mentioning, because I just can't say that enough. But one of the things I found that was kind of interesting about this is that they were going to be setting up, there'll be different areas on each server that you can set up your own like little fiefdom and become king. And so you kind of control those areas and collect taxes and go to war with other folks, in the other areas and stuff. So that mechanic I thought was kind of interesting. That was something, a little bit new to me for this genre. So there you have it.
I quite liked it as well, Drac, but let's face it, out of the pair of us, me being in England where all this stuff actually happened, knights and stuff like that, you're the one in America that actually owns a suit of armor, so I'm surprised you don't want to play this game more.
Well, get rid of the survival mechanics and I might.
Right, guys, 28th of June 2019, The Burned Ground. I'm going to use this cliche that's been used to describe before. Very Mad Max-like. Quite like that.
Yeah, I put this one on the list for you.
Yeah, I can see it's hellish. It's definitely in Australia or perhaps somewhere in Arizona. But yeah, I quite like it. It's nice. I do like it. It's my kind of game. Destruction, hell, racing, speed. Yes, more of this, please.
This almost feels like a vehicle destructive Mad Max battle royale. Where it is the last one standing wins. So build up your racer, get out out into the desert and try to take out everybody else.
I think that's exactly what it is, you know. The battle royale sort of genre has sort of, or needs to evolve, and if you're going to use vehicles as that sort of evolution, well, perfect. Instead of using people, why not use cars? Soon you're going to find mechs like Titanfall. Oops, did I say Titanfall battle royale? Did I?
We did theorize that, and that's when Apex came out instead. Yeah,
which is why I'm touching. I'm touching on that. I thought it would have been as well. I was with you there. It just made too much sense not to happen. I honestly thought Apex Legends was a Titanfall battle royale. Now that would have been pretty cool if that was the case as well.
Yeah, there's some ways they could bring Titans into that game and make it fun and interesting, but yeah, that would take quite a bit there. So anyway, with regards to Burn Ground, it's basically it looks like they say more than 20 cars that you have a choice from, each with a unique design, equipped with different types of weapons. You'll have you can play during the day or at night. They do limit things like ammunition in the game, so conserve your ammo, destroy your opponent, collect their supplies, and move on.
Right, now a game that I'm quite interested in talking about is F1 2019. Oh god, yes, more of this please. This is my kind of game. The kind of game you want to play on ultra realistic settings just to sort of experience that mad rush of being a Formula 1 racer. Yes, please.
See, I know you like racing games, but I wasn't sure if this would be one you'd be interested in, because I know we've talked about other, I'll say realistic, but like on a track racing games that you weren't too, or didn't seem to be too fond of. But F1 is something you're into, huh?
Just a touch. Now, when it comes to some F1 games, I thought some of them were quite bad, quite pants. But this one looks good, and unfortunately, that's all I'm banking on. This is the look. I reckon the racing bits and pieces are going to be the same, the racing style. But this looks so much better than 2018 and 2017. It really does. It looks really, really, really good. And let's face it, this is the kind of game you need to play in ultra settings because it's just so realistic.
Well, we talked a little bit earlier about games with 4K textures and ray tracing, and I'd say this would probably be another game that could really heavily benefit from something like that. If and when maybe say F1 2020 comes out and they have those kinds of things in it.
Yes, I agree there. This is the kind of game that will definitely benefit from those sort of ultra realistic graphics and details. The bit that does annoy me, and I see this happening in all the racing games, so I'm not just picking on F1 2019, is the grandstand people standing up and whatever have you. It's all choreographed and it all looks the same, and it's all this. It does detract a bit from the sort of overall aesthetic of the game, but at the end, you are racing the most accurate incarnation of a Formula 1 car out there. So yeah, I mean, the Gran Turismo needs to step aside this time, unfortunately. I do love my Gran Turismo, but this game looks fantastic.
So that'll be out on June 28th on PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
Nope, I'm not mentioning. No, the next two are yours, bro. I see what you've done here. Nope.
Hey, I just put them in the order they came out.
Nope. I'm noping the hell out of here, bro.
Hey, you know what? I have a picture somewhere of you playing on a Nintendo Switch and smiling and enjoying yourself. So the next one would be you'd be able to make your own levels in Super Mario Maker 2 on Nintendo Switch, June 28th.
No, I'm sorry. Just no.
Don't be hating.
Haters gotta hate something, bro. And honestly, when it comes to Mario, I think it's been done to death. Honestly, Nintendo bank on so much nostalgia. It's become boring. They need to sort of get new markets and new IPs really quickly. But that's what Nintendo do, and that's very successful for Nintendo. So you should start calling themselves Nintendo nostalgia games. Yeah.
Well, I can see where you might say, Mario is a little bit played out. I think where this kind of refreshes that character and world is the fact where it's putting the control into the player's hands to actually develop new levels and things like that. So it's giving you a whole new way of interacting with the game. Rather than just playing the game, you're now able to make levels and put them out there. So just like people on PC do with mods for different types of games, it's allowing people on the Nintendo console to do the same thing.
Yeah, but those are mods, and those people program those mods. These are just superficial blocks that people put in place to actually make the game challenging. So basically, you're doing the dev's job for them. So now not only why are Nintendo banking on nostalgia? You're then basically building your own game without the devs, so they're making money for nothing. Interesting.
I believe it's called delegation.
Well, yeah, they're delegating the responsibility of game making to the actual player. So you've paid for a development package or a game? Oh no, wait, you've paid for a development package to then make a game so that other people can play. So surely you can market the stage and sell the stage? No, you can't, because it's Nintendo property and Nintendo license. So
no,
yeah.
you pay for the privilege of doing all that.
Exactly my point. So yeah, no, it's just Nintendo being lazy, I think. I mean, I see the fun in it. I really do. Challenge. The longevity of the game is immense with this, but it's just, I think, the developers being lazy.
You just like to hate on Nintendo.
No, I just like to be critical about Nintendo's products because all of it's nostalgia.
Quite a bit of it is. But yeah, so. And the last one on the list, my friend Pedro for PC and Switch. They haven't listed when in June. It just, if you go to their website, it says coming 2019. When I was looking at a list of games that are supposed to be out in June, this was listed for sometime in June 2019. So this may or may not be out before the end of June. But this one got a lot of buzz when I was at E3 last year, and it looks kind of cool. You're playing this guy, guns in each hand, shooting at things on the screen as he's moving and flipping around in all kinds of directions. It looks cool. I didn't get a chance to actually play it at E3 though, so I can't speak about the actual gameplay, but it does look like this could be kind of fun.
Okay, the first thing you forget to notice is that, the drink, Desperado, the beverage, Desperado?
I don't know the drink Desperado. I haven't had that one.
It's an excellent beer with tequila, right? I enjoy it. It's a bit like Corona, but better, okay? Now, the developer is Devolver, right? And that looks very similar to the Desperado sort of characteristics. Okay. So that instantly got me interested into this game, right? Now, the annoying part for me is that I got a very funny feeling this is just a Hispanic Deadpool with a banana motif instead of a Deadpool motif. Am I wrong by saying that?
I can see where you can draw similar parallels between this game and the Deadpool character with regards to, how he seems to move around through the world and, take on these crazy odds.
Dude, Deadpool is a mentally unstable character running around with samurai swords and guns. This is a mentally unstable Hispanic dude running around with a banana and guns. So
with guns,
So honestly, this is just a banana wielding Deadpool dude. This game looks like a lot of fun, but it's not on PS4 and it's only on Switch and PC. So I noped out of it.
Wow, you could play it on PC.
Oh yes, of course. I'm a PC elitist now. Yay!
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, I can't remember if you actually even control the motion of the character. I think you just control the shooting, and it will fade in and out between regular speed and slow-mo speed, or you might be able to actually or hit a button to make it go into slow-mo, but I don't think you control the movement. I can't remember exactly how that works, but go check out a trailer for this. It'll be playing in the background of the video as well. It's 2D, so I say 2D. They've done the artwork in a way that still gives it a 3D feel, but it's still that 2D style where it's side-scrolling.
I think it needs to be rendered out a bit more, but it looks really cool. A lot of fun to play, but it's not on PS4, and I reckon this would have been brilliant on PS4.
I could see this both on PS4 and Xbox. I don't see any reason why this wouldn't work with a controller, since, you get that whole 2D platforming aspect to it.
Excuse me, well, I just link Drac a thing to Desperados, boys and girls, so that he can actually see that this drink is a tequila-flavoured beer. And then he's going to kick himself and realise, oh wait, it's a Heineken beer. You should have known this. How bad is it that you can define a game just by the beer that you've drank before? Yeah.
Yep, don't think I've seen that beer before.
Well, I don't think you would have, right? And I did come across it in the States, okay? And in the States, California, they basically crack it open, stick a lemon slice down the neck, okay? I'm not a fan of that. I prefer my beer, drink it out of the bottle or a glass. Now, this is a cracking drink. If you get a chance to go for it, do it. After all, the Dutch make good beer.
This is true. Shall we close out?
Let's end on beer, which we should always do. And yes, we're going to link the Desperado beer in the description so you can have a look as well, because it's a fantastic beer. I recommend everyone go and at least try it.
Well, I guess on that note, thanks folks for sticking with us through this week's, or I should say this month's, upcoming games. As always, like, comment, subscribe for the folks who are watching this on Facebook or YouTube, and for the folks listening in our podcasting app, we always appreciate your listenership.
Yeah, we've got to start doing these things more often, boys and girls. Like, comment, subscribe, click the double bell, because you've got to double subscribe nowadays, thanks to YouTube's genius, and Facebook and whatever have you, guys. Thank you very much for listening to June's upcoming games. My name is Bamm Havoc, TTFN, I love all your faces. Cheers, bye.